Hey to be. Good morning. So I have to admit that this is the third time that I tried this YouTube video. So I guess for some reason it's not uploading, and so I'm hoping that it does work this time. Okay? So because this is my third time doing it, I am going to talk about our reading and our math and religion a little more quickly because I'm getting a little tired of saying the same things over again. And it's not your fault, okay? But I am going to make sure that you guys do understand what you're supposed to learn today, okay? So before I begin, I just want to give you a quick reminder that even though we're doing e-learning, you're learning at home, okay? It still counts for school. It's still school. Second grade is not over. So all the work that you're doing, make sure you do it the best way you can. Make sure you give me the best handwriting you can, okay? Make sure you write your sentences for journals the best way you can because you're still getting a grade. And the last work that we're doing right now is going on your last report card. And you want the third grade teachers, Miss Pullen and Mr. Conkley, to see your grades and say, wow, this child's really smart, okay? Because you are. You're smart and you're very capable of doing everything. Don't give up. It's not over, okay? Got it? I haven't given up on you. You cannot give up on yourself, okay? School still go. So with that being said, tomorrow is our spelling test. And tomorrow is your spelling test over the long O-O, ooh sound. Shoe, beautiful, school, group, igloo. So tomorrow I'm going to email your parents on the 20 words that are going to be on your spelling test. And of course you have to be honest, but they can now help you with how to spell the words. Okay, just like in school. Got it? So next is Super Kids. And Super Kids today we're talking about something we've talked about before. And it's called sequence. Okay? What does sequence mean? I'm going to give you a clue. We've talked about sequence words before, which is first, comma, second, comma. So what's next? Third, comma. Don't give me fourth. Give me another sequence word. That could work. After, comma. And if you want to end something, what would you say? Finally, comma, or last, comma. These are sequence words. So then what does sequence mean? Sequence means putting things in order. Okay? Putting things in order. That is what we're doing today in Super Kids. However, we're not using our sequence words. We're going to use actual numbers. So instead of saying first comma, you're going to use first. Instead of saying second comma, you're going to use second. Instead of saying third comma, you'll use third. You can't use after, so you'll be fourth. Okay? We're going to use our sequence words today. So on page 76 in Super Kids, go to page 76 and write your name, number, and date. Today's date is 4/7/2020. Okay, April 7, 2020. And make sure you write your name. Some people are forgetting to write their name too. That's how I know you're not giving me your best. Okay? So let's do number 1 together. Star number 1 says, put these sentences in order by numbering the boxes. They gave us 4 sentences in number 1 and they gave us a picture that goes with the sentences. I'm going to read the sentences the way it says on here. Let's see if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's not in sequence. Grace and I went to the beach. A huge wave washed our sandcastle away. I fell asleep in the car on the way home. We played in the sand and built a big sandcastle. That doesn't make sense. Because if you're going home in the car, how did you build a sandcastle in the car? So now I know it's not in sequence. We got to put it in sequence. So what will be the first sentence? Yep. Grace and I went to the beach. That's sentence number 1, or first. What will be second? We played in the sand and built a big sand castle. That's second. So what's third? We have two left in the middle. A huge wave washed our sandcastle away. That's third. And then fourth, I fell asleep in the car on the way home. So this is the order now. First, second, third, fourth. Let me read it to you in sequence, okay? If it makes sense, we got it. Grace and I went to the beach. Second, we played in the sand and built a big sandcastle. Third, a huge wave washed our sandcastle away. Fourth, I fell asleep in the car on the way home. That is the sequence. Okay, now it's in order because it makes sense. So you're going to finish 2, 3, and 4 at home. When you're done, check it before you tell your parents, okay, I'm done. So when I grade it, I could give you A+, because you can get A+ on this. Got it? So after you do page 76 and your Super Kid workbook page, you're going to read today's story, which is called Mud, page 138 and 139. On page 138 and 139, so what's going on is, you know, Oswald has this Roboticon. And this Roboticon reminds me of Transformer because it changes. But it looks like Oswald was playing with it when Miss Blossom was teaching, so she kind of took it away, okay? And he's not the only one, though, who likes Roboticons. So does Hot Rod. So I guess the next day, from what I read, it seems that Oswald decided to stay in for recess in the lunch bunch, maybe because he got in trouble the day before. And so Hot Rod says, hey, can I borrow your Roboticon to play? Okay. So not a problem. You know, Oswald and Hot Rod are friends. Lets him borrow the toy. But when Hot Rod was playing outside with the toys, he was playing in the mud puddles because I guess it rained a lot. So today is called Mud. You're going to find out if Oswald likes that his toy was being played with in the mud or not. Okay? So you'll read pages 138 and 139. So that's it for Super Kids. Let me go on to math. And I know we've been talking about three-dimensional shapes or 3D shapes, right? So our three-dimensional shapes that we've been talking about, for example, this one. You could have this as the same shape or a can. It's called a cylinder, okay? And we're going to learn some new vocabulary words, though. We're going to learn what a face is, and it's not this face. We're going to learn what a edge is, and what a vertex is. Wait a second. You know what a vertex is. Let's start from there. You know what a vertex is. Okay. So you have a side. You have another side, right? Put it together. See that pointy part? It's your vertex. The corner. If you have more than one vertex, it's a vertice. So you know that one already. Okay? That pointy part. But let's go to face. You know, not this face. A face is this. What is this? This is flat. It's a flat surface. Okay? So a face is a flat surface and it ends. If you notice, it ends up here. So, for example, in my hand, I have a what? What is this called? There's a rectangle here. Rectangular prism. So here's a face. See how it ends? Here's a face. It's flat and it ends. Here's a face. It's flat and it ends. That's a face. Okay? Right here. And if you look, this is a face. It's flat and it ends. But is this a face? No, it's not flat. It rolls. If something rolls, it's not a face. So this is not a face, but this is because it's flat. It can't roll. See? It doesn't roll. Okay? So that's a face. So what's an edge? Here it is. An edge is like a side, and a side was a line. Okay? So an edge is a line, or you have one face, you have two faces. Where two faces meet, it forms an edge. One face, two face. Where two faces meet, it forms the edge. So this is an edge, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna count all of the faces, all of the edges, and all of the vertex, so the vertices on our three-dimensional shapes, okay? So what I'm gonna do, go to page 766 in your math, because we're gonna do 766 together. And I am going to make a chart, the chart that you see on page 766. I'm going to make it right now. Okay? So we're going to count our faces, our edges, and our vertices. And our first one that we're going to do is a cube. Okay? So we have our cube. I have mine right here. And if you don't have this, which I'm sure you don't, you can use a Kleenex box, right? It's the same thing. It's a cube, same shape, okay? So here's my cube. And let's start counting our faces. So I told you a face is a flat shape and it ends. It cannot roll because it's flat. I'm going to write the number of faces that I have because since they all look the same, I don't want to recount them. I don't want to count the same one over. So I have one face, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all have numbers. So a cube has 6 faces, okay? Now an edge. I told you guys an edge is when you have one face and one face, they meet on the edge. An edge is like a line. The edge is going to be a little confusing because I can't write the numbers on the edges. I'm going to have to use my memory really well. Okay, you got to have a good memory for this. Let me count the edges in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me go to the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let me go to the bottom. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 edges. Okay, so a cube has 12 edges. And how did I do that? I counted the middle first, then I counted the top edges, then I counted the bottom. Okay, 12 edges. Vertices. Vertices are your corners, right? Okay, so how many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let me go to the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. Okay? So it looks like a cube has 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 corners, 8 vertices. So that's for a cube. So the next shape that we're going to do is called the rectangular prism. I'll put R prism because I don't have enough space right here. Our prism is rectangular prism. All right, let's see that one. Here it is. How many faces? So a face is a flat surface, right? And it ends and it cannot roll. Let me get my marker because for the faces I could write on this. And you know, instead of a rectangular prism, if you don't have one of these, use a cereal box, okay? And as you can see, you can actually write on your cereal box so you can count it. It's the same answer, okay? So we have how many faces? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, did that one already. 5, 6. All my sides are counted. Perfect. 6 faces. Okay, there's 6 faces. All right. Hey, it's the same so far. Okay. How many edges? So you know edges, you gotta have a really good memory for that. Okay, here's my plan. Let me count the middle edges first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go on the other side. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 edges. So far, the cube and the rectangular prism both have 6 faces and both have 12 edges. Okay, let's see if they both have the same vertices. Now, remember that an edge is where 2 faces meet. That's an edge. But vertices, let's see. Okay, the pointy parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 8 vertices. So it looks like the rectangular prism and the cube both have 6 faces. They both have 12 edges. They both have 8 vertices. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the next one, which is the pyramid. A pyram. That means pyramid, okay? So you probably don't have something that's the same shape as the pyramid, okay? So it's okay. You could use this video to help you. That's what it's for. So let's count our faces. And again, the face is a flat surface. It ends and it cannot roll, okay? So let's count our faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 faces for a pyramid, okay? Edges. Again, the edge is where you have 2 faces that meet. Edge, okay? You have to have a good memory for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in the back, 8. 8 edges. Okay? Now, vertices, that's the easy one, right? The corners, the pointy parts. 1, 2, 3, back here, 4, 5. 5 vertices. So a square pyramid has 5 faces, 8 edges, 5 vertices, okay? The last one we're going to do is the sphere. This is the easiest one, and you'll find out why. Maybe you already know. So for a sphere, I think I'm going to need like a balloon. So give me a minute. Can you give me the balloon, please? My mom has been helping me. She's the helper. She's like Mrs. O'Keefe. Okay, so here is my sphere. So I know it has this, but you know, a sphere is like a ball. So look, a face. A face is supposed to be flat, right? It doesn't roll, and it ends. Does this have any faces? No, it does not, because it rolls. So since it rolls, it has 0 faces. Does this have any edges? No, because you remember an edge is kind of like a line. There's no edges here. If there's no faces, there's no edges. Now, do you see any vertices on here where it's pointy? And remember, this doesn't count. No, 0. A sphere has 0 faces, 0 edges, and 0 vertices. Okay? Now, just to practice, it's not going to hurt us. Let's do one more. Let's do the cylinder. I'm going to put CYL for cylinder. Okay? So for a cylinder, there's a cylinder, right? And I told you can use a can at home, or you can use Clorox wipes if you have them. Let's count our faces. So your faces are the flat surface and it ends. Look at that. Can't roll on this side, right? So we have 1 face, 2 face. Is this a face? I hope you said no because it rolls. So there's only 2 faces on a cylinder. How many edges? Does this count as an edge? No, it does not, because an edge does not roll. It's like a line. Okay? A line cannot roll. So this has 0 edges because the edge should not roll. Does it have any vertices? I don't see any pointy parts. So it's no vertices. 2 faces, 0 edges, 0 vertices. Okay? For a cylinder. So that was page 766 that I did with you. At home with your parents, you're going to practice on page 767, okay? And then you're going to do page 768, number 13 with your parents. I want to do 768, I want to do 14 with you. And here's number 14. Number 14 says that Ryan has a poster. The poster shows all of the shapes that have less than 3 faces. I'm going to use this. It has to have less than 3 faces. Less than means smaller. Smaller than 3. Faces, right here, F. That's not smaller than 3. That's not smaller than 3. That's not smaller than 3. This one's smaller than 3, and this one is smaller than 3. So a sphere and a cylinder has less than 3 faces. And on his poster, he has only shapes that have less than 3 faces. The question says, circle the shape that is not on the poster. Well, a cylinder is on the poster because it has less than 3 faces. They have a cone next. Does a cone have less than 3 faces? Let's find out. Here's a cone. Here's one face because it's flat. It doesn't roll. Is this a face? No, because it rolls. So a cone only has one face. A cone should be on his poster. A sphere. You guys already know. A sphere has 0 faces. For sure, it's on his poster.